All right. Nuttso, can you tell me about how your sister came around death row and how she, originally met Tupac?
Yeah, I introduced my sister to Tupac. One day, brought her to the studio, and I was like, "Pac, let me introduce you to my sister." He was like, "Okay, where she?" She's little, so he looking around like, "Where's she at?" So she right here. She always been little. So I'm like, "Yeah, that's my sister right here, Keyshia. Keyshia, this Pac. When you like, that's your sister?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's my sister too." Then, bam, man. That was the solid introduction on Keyshia meeting Tupac.
Okay. And how old was she when that 96?
That was 96, so that was she was like 14.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
14.
She had did an interview and she had mentioned that in Vegas before the shooting that Tupac had confided in her that he was going to leave death row. Did you ever hear about that, or do you have an opinion about that?
No, I didn't. I was never told that by Pac. Had plenty of conversations with Pac. I can't confirm that conversation, you know what I mean? But I've never heard anything about Tupac leaving death row, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things about progressing
Mm-hmm.
with death row, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That Pac spoke on, but not anything about him leaving death row.
Okay. Um, can you talk a little bit about why it's not common knowledge that Tupac put you in the Outlaws group before he passed, and then afterwards, like when Still I Rise came out, when Words to My Firstborn came out,
Well, it's like, I put it like this. So Pac bringing me in as an outlaw, that was initiation through him. That was him handpicking me like that. Of course, the introduction. Gotta give 100% shout out to MC Hammer. That was my whole introduction into Death Row. My whole introduction into meeting Tupac was through MC Hammer. So I gotta give it starts way back, but it starts right there. You know what I'm saying? MC Hammer introducing me to the big world. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ham on that. You know what I mean? And being that Pac took an interest in my music, and in particular one song. It was a song called Thug Living that I did, and Pac liked that. And from that song, he was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta rock with him. I need him on the team." You know what I mean? So, and of course, I'm a rock. You know what I mean? So I'm rock and roll. Um, so make a long story short, Hammer introduced me to Tupac, the whole Death Row family. Pac brought me in as an outlaw. That was a meeting that took place after, forget what actual day it was on, but that was a meeting that took place right after the studio session Smile that Tupac and Face did. So we was all up in there, Scarface, Face Mob, Tupac, the rest of us Outlaws, all up in there chilling. So after that session, that's when we went back to the Malibu mansion, had a little meeting. I was downstairs chilling. He told me to just chill downstairs for about 5 minutes. So he went up, came back. All right, Nuts, come on up. So I go up. Me, rest of the Outlaws, we chilling in the room. Pac right there, Pac breaking down the blueprint. You know what I mean? Saying this and then saying that. And right along with saying, everybody that agreed Nuttso to be an outlaw, raise your hand and say, ah. It was a favorable thing, you know what I mean? So everybody in the room raised their hand, voted me in, you know what I'm saying, upon his shout out to say, y'all agree Nuttso being an outlaw. And that's how I became an outlaw. The music part, as far as being one of the faces of the Outlaws, right after Pac died, it was kind of like due to a little bit of discommunication, shall I say. What I did was I fell back. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Pac just, it's going down. The city haywire. You don't know nothing. Everybody talking and then everybody quiet. You know what I mean? So it's like, who's saying? No, I ain't believing nothing. You know what I mean? So I fell back. And then, you got everybody changing their numbers and changing locations. So, you know, it was kind of hard to get in contact with a lot of people after that had went down. And I believe I forgot who all went strictly to death row to go get the deal as the Outlaws. I forgot, but like four of them, yeah, you know what I mean? So that's how that kind of took place. Maybe if I, you know, we've been more in contact right after the death of Pac, then yeah, ain't no doubt about it. And I would have been a part of that project if I would have had a sign to death row after Pac's death. But you know, after that, it was like, man, you know, Pac, man, it's like, man, you don't know. That's like, you know, you growing up in the hood and you know somebody get knocked down, you got to fall back. Especially if your homeboy get knocked down, you got to be like, man, okay, who did it? We gotta regroup. We got to see what's going on. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Was it intended? Was it for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So, you know, and everybody being quiet, not talking. And then, you know, I started slowly gaining, you know, contact after contact after contact. And then I got being more involved with being like a part of the outlaw circle. You know what I mean? So, but as far as being a part of the Outlaws and one of the Outlaws, yeah, Pac did that. You know what I mean? Pac initiated that. Pac brought me in on that. You know what I mean? Salute to Pac definitely on that note. You know what I mean? So that's that. On becoming an outlaw, that was a grateful moment. I felt acceptance from everybody that was in the room at the time. You know what I mean? And you know, we that didn't stop, you know, the connection just because a certain amount of people signed with Suge and, you know, a couple of us didn't. We just, man, look, we're gonna keep it 100. Y'all happy, do y'all thing. If I'm happy, I'm gonna do my thing. If he happy, he gonna do his thing. So what we gotta do is, like Pac say, any one of us can die, man. Any one of us can die. You, me, whatever. But whoever died, man, we gotta pull together and keep pushing. You know what I mean? So that's the message I verbally heard from Tupac that I'ma stick with. I'm not asking, you know, nobody else in the circle to stick with that. They could stick to, you know, their own things. But me, I'm gonna stick to what I felt was a deliberate message to me coming from Pac. You know what I mean? And every time that I was around Pac, it was a learning moment. You know what I mean? It was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Because it was like it kind of like it didn't happen, but it kind of like happened overnight. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm like, I'm down here with Tupac. Like, hold on, like, you know what I mean? So it was. I'm not a starstruck type of dude. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it took a minute for it to just like really like sink into me. Like, hold on, man, I'm here with Pac. Like, wait a minute. When I got introduced to Pac, all the controversy about Pac went out the door. Like with me, because it was like I didn't even like I was immune to that. Like, you know what I mean? So now I'm here with Pac. We finna do some songs. We finna, you know what I'm saying? We finna kick it. We finna smoke weed. We finna be drinking. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. So the controversy about Pac and surrounding Pac didn't sink in until later. We start going places. We're going here, going to clubs, and now I'm like, cause see, when you hood, you pay attention. You gonna see what's happening. You know what I mean? That's your first thing. You know, when you step out, and I'm out of my habitat. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Oakland, California. We don't gangbang. We don't red. We don't blue. We don't. It's not. It's two different worlds. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's the same movement because it's a gangster movement. You know what I mean? So no matter where, if you're from a city that gangbang or don't gangbang, it's still gangsterism going on in that city. So if you're a part of that gangsterism life, then there's certain things that you pay attention to. So me being down here in the circle of Death Row, being mixed in with, you know, Bloods, Crips, and I'm like, okay, I'm from Oakland, like, do they even care about me like that? Like, if it go down, do they care about me? But then, you know, you gotta treat it like how we move. Because if we come as a unit, we is the unit. No matter who's who, y'all a unit. You know what I mean? So when you go outside of California, they be like, where you from? I'll be like, I'm from Cali. I don't go straight to the, yeah, man, I'm from 73rd or Sunnyside, Deep East Oakland. You know, because they don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? So they going off how you move. Okay, well, y'all from Cali? Okay, well, we don't know what street y'all from. We just gonna call y'all them Cali boys. That's them Cali boys. So when you go out of the United States, it's not really a Cali thing. It's, hey, where you from? Well, I'm from Cali. Oh, you from the States. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a different, you know what I'm saying? It's a different type of, you know, lingo. You know what I mean? When you dealing with it. So when you out in the public, I'm out in the public and I'm like, okay, it can go down any moment. You know what I mean? And sometimes it did. And sometimes it got, you know, neutralized. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we don't need this. Just keep pushing to a positive angle. But then when you're dealing with a gumbo pot of gangsters, you know what I mean? Then you ain't no telling what can go down in the circle and outside the circle. You know what I mean? So that's how I was. I was just, you know, stuck to myself, analyzing everything, observing everything. I ain't got no problem with these dudes. I ain't got no problem with them dudes. I'm from 6-7 hours away. They don't know me. So we never had a physical altercation. You know what I mean? We never had a verbal altercation. So I didn't feel threatened. I felt like I was right at home. I'm like, damn, these niggas out here on some gangster shit. I'm like, okay, let me know then. That means my presence wasn't going to scare nobody. You know what I mean? So, and that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? It was just a mutual respect thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you go off vibes. Okay, hey, what's up, man? Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, he cool. He ain't cool. He cool. I just know not to fuck with him.
Right.
Just all right and keep it moving. Some niggas, man, what's up, man? You feel, you know what I'm saying? You feel that bond. So that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? I was more observative and low key when doing my death row days. You know.
Gotcha.